Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azar Madhani, and unfortunately, I am not joined by Tommy Sunday. He is off biking in the wilderness, apparently.
Giving up.
But I am joined. I am joined by the newly wedded Tony O. My friend, how are you doing?
I am good. Morning, Uzi. Glad to be back. I chose the perfect time to step back and the perfect time to return. So,
It's a real shame your wedding wasn't this past weekend. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Arsenal smartly realized that, I wouldn't mind a 2-2 against Fulham. I was a bit preoccupied at the time. But, I am here to, reasonably talk through yesterday's events. Reasonably.
Sure. That's what you've always been. Reasonable.
Calm.
Yeah. Now, imagine the scenes at your wedding if there had been a United Arsenal game that day.
No. Nah, I don't.
It would have been a war.
I know.
A war in that suite.
I know too many United fans. Yeah, no. I'm trying to imagine it, and I'm just like.
I would have been on the front lines, Tony. I'll have you know.
To be, yeah. I don't know. Did you guys win last week? I never know with you anymore.
Yeah, we did.
You did?
We did.
Okay.
We did.
Oh yeah, that was Forest, wasn't it? Where you came from 2 goals down. Yeah, that happened. Didn't come from 2 goals down this time, did you? No.
No, we left it a bit late to go 2 goals down this time.
Yeah. Game had everything.
You might as well get into it. Arsenal 3, Man United 1.
Yeah.
Stressful game. Really fucking stressful.
Yeah. I don't know. Every time especially in this fixture, the home team wins, right? That's basically how it's
always
been
the home team wins.
The past, I don't know, 4 years. But every time,
maybe longer. I can't remember us winning at the Emirates since Mourinho, I want to say.
I don't know. I think there was a time when we beat you at Old Trafford, like 2020 or 2021, I want to say. 1-0 off a penalty or something. Anyway, generally,
sure.
the home team wins. But, every time we're about to play, I was just like, I'm never stressed because I'm like, United look shit. That's always in my mind. United look shit. And yet somehow...
And yet every game ends up stressful.
Yeah, it's just... You score... I think it was the same thing last year. First attack, you score.
Yeah,
it's
first shot we had.
You guys, that was your second time or first time in our final... or your final third. In our defensive third. And Rashford just... I don't think it's great from Ramsdale. I think he should save it. I don't think he moves his feet in time. But it's not great from Saliba.
David Raya's knocking at that door.
He is, yeah. With every... That's been a thing of late with Ramsdale. Like, it feels like any 50-50 seems to be going...
His wrists seem to have gotten weaker over the off-season. I don't know. Ones that he was, pushing away before. Are kind of getting through. I saw it a bit, because it happened in the preseason game between United and Arsenal as well. Where he was bombing shots and still, them going in. And I just put it down to preseason because I don't put much stock into any actual goals that get scored in that. But
his form has been, since the World Cup, his form has dipped. But here's the thing with Ramsdale. I think he plays well away from home. Doesn't play well at the Emirates. I can't explain it. It doesn't make... I'd almost play right at home.
So does this mean...
I'm
just
playing
bringing a
Ramsdale
rotation
away.
home and away goalies.
Yeah, he has said that he uses away from home, he uses the banter from the crowd to really get himself going. I don't know. But anyway, small detail.
Goalies are weird.
Yeah, and he's a weird one himself. But, I don't know. We got the response immediately. The first fluid football we had played in the game. Odegaard, it's becoming a typical finish, I think, for him. But...
yeah, the moment he sets up, edge of the box on that left foot, it's... If there's a bit of space, it's done.
Yeah, it's a perfect response. Martinelli was good, I think. He was one of the forward players. I did see... Nketiah was fine. Saka, I thought, was really poor on the day.
I was very surprised because I was very worried about Dallo lining up at left back against Saka because Dallo did not have a great game against Forest last week.
Didn't have a great game this game either. I thought he legend has it. Saka. Legend has it. He's still sliding on that Jesus chance. So.
I mean, that's rubbish. A Hail Mary.
That's
rubbish
defending. It's not a Hail Mary. Why is he sliding in? No, you can't let a defender off. It's on his left foot.
The game is already done at that point.
There was still 2 minutes after that.
The third goal, I didn't care. God knows why. We were already in the 110th minute at that point. But I don't care about the third goal that much. But the second goal I do care about because when we're down to our CB5 and CB6, and it's I told you, I called it in the group chat the moment we had the pairing of Maguire and Evans on because apparently all our defenders are now just hurt. I called it in our group chat that we wouldn't win the game.
Before we get to the Maguire Evans axis, right? What is going on with the Butcher? He doesn't finish games anymore. Like,
he got hurt in this one.
He's fine. He's going to Argentina. He's what do you mean he got hurt?
He came off injured.
Yeah. He came off injured.
If he starts for Argentina, I'm going to be pissed off.
Well, he's going, and the report is he's fine.
Going.
What did he hurt?
He came off injured in this game.
Yes.
He's not had a good start to the season. I'm not going to defend his start to the season because it's not been good. But he got hurt. Lindelof apparently was limping through the press area after the game as well. And then
Tanaka said he was sick. But okay. Anyway, I don't know. With the thing,
I'm just going based off.
I'm not disputing that he felt some pain. Okay, Martinez. I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is he's developed this Mustafi syndrome where he gets stressed, he dives in, and then he limps off. It's like at some point you need to learn to stay on your feet, right? Like he didn't even prevent the attack. It was nuts. Like Nketiah still got the ball away.
He could have injured someone, I guess. That would have been preferable.
Well, he hurt himself. So
he
at the end of
I
the
know
game,
that's disappointing. If you're gonna hurt yourself, hurt the other person too.
I don't know. I mean, the moment he went off, and then actually, you guys were still. I was gonna say you guys were
still okay. It's once Lindelof also had to go off.
How are you in a state where we were laughing in the off season when you guys gave Johnny Evans a 1 month contract? We're all like, watch you guys extend that contract. It was a joke, right? I didn't understand why you gave him the 1 month contract, but
I thought we were like, hey, we're doing him a favor, bring him along for preseason, whatever. He went like because our preseason schedule was weird. He was playing with all the academy kids in like the second games.
Yeah,
I was just like, sure, whatever. Doing an old friend a favor like that, no issue with it. And we signed him for Now the thing is, we were down 4 center backs by the time Johnny Evans has to come on.
Who's the last one?
We're down.
Varane, Martinez.
Luke Shaw is ahead of Maguire in the center back pecking. If Maguire's coming on, that means Luke Shaw is already hurt.
Oh my goodness! You're saying you're down 4 center backs. You're only down 2.
Down 3.5.
Is Maguire the other one?
No. Varane, Martinez, Lindelof, and half of Luke Shaw.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. Even if
we're also down both our left backs. So what the fuck is going on?
Where's Malacia? He's hurt.
He's hurt. Yeah, he got hurt before the season started, and he's out until like November as well. That's why we've had to sign Sergio fucking Reguilon.
What about McTominay?
Because we have
McTominay can play center back. Isn't he fine?
Honestly, was he? I can't. He didn't come on in this game.
No, but he was on the bench
as well. Was he on the bench?
I think so. I don't know what the question is, but there is no way Evans is the answer. I'm sorry. Like
I would rather see McTominay at centre back than Johnny Evans.
He was terrible last season. Johnny Evans, when he played, he was terrible.
He was hurt most of last season, and he's also 35. He's 35, and he wasn't the fastest defender to start with.
So McTominay was not on the bench, bruh. Yeah,
he must be hurt as well. So, who else? I mean,
you don't have a kid. You don't have a kid you can bring. The first thing Johnny Evans did when he came on was get beat by Gabriel Jesus. I'm like, here we go. It's just like, here we go.
No, I called it in our group chat. I was like, it's done. If Arsenal don't win this game from this point, just stop the season, delete the club. It's over.
We nearly lost it.
You had the game on a platter. You nearly lost it. You were saved by just the narrowest of offsides.
Gabriel, his ballet stance just about got it
was
right.
Was it Gabriel or was it Saliba?
No, Saliba dives in. He and Rice dived in,
it's Gabriel.
And it was Gabriel that did his little, I don't know what. He just at the last minute decided, I'm going to play the upside trap. He worked, but...
Nah, he got lucky. He got so lucky on that.
In his defense, I don't think there's anything else he could have done, right? Because even if he goes
he's not catching Garnacho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who,
he's not catching him. He
gambled,
he got lucky.
Why is Anthony starting games? The moment Garnacho came on, I'm like, United now have multiple threats. Højlund looked good when he came on.
So, I will say, Garnacho did start the first couple of games of the season.
Wasn't good. Fine.
And looked
Anthony has started all your games.
He's better coming off the bench
Anthony
right now.
has started
Anthony is
all
not
your
going to
games.
win us games either.
So,
Garnacho doesn't play on the right.
Where did he come on?
Honestly, the one I want to see in place of Anthony is Pellistri. I would love to see Pellistri get a couple of games to start, show what he can do.
I haven't seen much of Pellistri, like, in a positive sense.
He's looked good coming off the bench, because he's direct. He runs at people.
When Garnacho came on, where was he playing?
He was rotating with Rashford off the left.
So where was Rashford?
Actually, I think he and Rashford like popping up left and right. And Højlund was also kind of rotating.
I think that's much better than what you have going, because I'm sorry, Anthony actually took up a lot of really interesting positions. He just couldn't do anything.
The quality.
Yeah, his final ball was terrible. He can't shoot. Like, I don't know. He can't really beat it. Anyway, he's Anthony. Like, I don't get the.
We know what he is now.
Yeah,
we know what he is at this point.
But just about got away with that, and then we kept pushing. And the winner comes. I gave Evans a bit of stick. Haven't seen the goal back now in a comma. I think it's more on Maguire, honestly. I think Maguire needs to be charging.
It's always one of them. It's always
Maguire.
It's always on.
It's weird. Declan Rice brings the ball down, and instead of Maguire, instead of him to go and charge down the shot, he's raising. I think he's calling for a handball. It hits his chin. It hits Declan Rice's chin. There is so much time for him to go close down the shot. He's calling for a handball. It's just like while Evans is wrestling with.
I get some of the complaints around the Evans stuff. Whatever, that sort of shit happens at every corner. That's never getting called. But Maguire needs to recognize that, hey, my centre back partner is tangled up with someone. I'm the next closest. Step out to the ball.
Even if you just, it's basic. It's just basic. Like, and I think, it was Evans that deflected it in, wasn't it? I think it was Evans.
It was Evans.
Yeah.
It came off Evans.
It's hilarious.
The moment that went in, I was like, okay, that's definitely been deflected. Mm-hmm. And I immediately recognized, I'm like, the two closest players are Evans and Maguire. It's off one of them. Of course it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. But, it's terrible.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not super. Listeners might be upset to hear that I'm not super upset by the actual result. I did kind of expect us to lose this one going in, because we always lose at the Emirates. Like, there was enough, like, there were bits and pieces where I was just like, okay, Højlund, I thought, actually gave us a focal point in attack. Anthony Martial dropped like a 0 out of 10. I didn't even notice he was on the field.
Yeah, he was.
And when Højlund came on, we had a striker actually battling for the ball, actually like causing problems, and just a cameo, but
he looks a handful.
Gives me a bit of hope.
The question is, will he score a lot? But he definitely. I mean,
there were no chances that came his way.
He looks like Haaland. He runs like Haaland. The question then is...
Don't say it.
Don't say it. Then is...
Don't say it.
Haaland?
This is lazy analysis.
It's a question. I'm not analyzing. I'm just saying that seems to be the plan, right? Get the... He's Danish, right? The Danish
DC brand Erling Haaland.
Yeah, but you look Arsenal. I still think our attackers are not firing. Gabriel Jesus coming back is a huge plus because he's a one player in our team that carries devastation up front. Saka when he's on form, but we've already discussed that he's not. Uh, you got,
Wait, right, pretty quick before we move on. What do you make of Havertz's performances so far?
it's been terrible.
'Cause I'm not seeing it.
He
so far
started.
from him.
He started the first game against Man City in the Community Shield. He was good. And then since then, the thing with Havertz is that it's very clear that this guy is broken, right? Like he's a very sensitive guy. Clearly, he spoke of how he struggled at Chelsea, and you can see it. He just plays scared. Like the chance he had, he didn't even. There was there was no conviction
To this
in that.
point,
He just
I am trying to figure out how he managed to miss
just
that.
panics.
Because normally when you see a striker whiff on a shot,
Yeah.
it's usually the ball's coming across at some kind of speed.
Yeah.
This was
He just
slow,
it's like he tried
gentle.
to toe poke it and he just whiffed it. And it's just like it just sums him up. And then what really sums him up is he wins a penalty. Now
Dive Havertz though.
I don't know why
I don't think he wins a penalty.
This is my even if he dies, he wins a penalty. But like this
He
is my
dives.
thing, right? Wan-Bissaka makes a challenge. Havertz he doesn't touch Havertz, right? But Havertz his leg now has nowhere to go because Wan-Bissaka has made that challenge. So I think that could be a penalty. If I was a ref and I saw it clearly in real time, I wouldn't give it. But I am surprised that it was overturned. That's the thing.
I would like to see all penalties like that get overturned because I just don't think it's a pen.
I hear you, but that's not what happens. Didn't you guys got last week against Forest. Was it Forest?
That was much.
Are
that
you
was a
about
much
to
more
tell
clear
me that was a
penalty.
much more clear?
I was absolutely. That is exactly. I'm not about to tell you, Tony. That is what I am telling you.
Oh my days.
Come on now.
Wow.
I was even Gabriel's challenge on Hoyland at the end was more of a penalty than the Havertz one. Havertz one was just
When
not.
Gabriel shielded the are you kidding me?
Hold him down. It was more. It's more of a call
Okay.
than the Havertz one.
I can't. Okay, so he gets sandwiched between two players. He has nowhere to put his leg because Wan-Bissaka has made a challenge.
And he takes a love.
Is there contact?
Lovely.
Is there contact?
minimal?
Is there contact?
There is minimal contact.
So last week, how is that more of a penalty?
There is much more contact. Come on now, Tony. I know Man United bullied you in your childhood, but this is
Rose-tinted
not
glasses. That's what's happening right here. United
Mm-hmm.
rose-tinted glasses. It's okay. I'd expect
Don't
this
worry
from
about
Tommy,
it, Tony.
but
You got your win. Why are you expecting it from Tommy? Tommy doesn't care about United penalties. He's off in the wilderness somewhere.
Tommy doesn't care about Chelsea
And-
penalties at this point.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've spent a lot of time on this. We should move on. And for Tommy's sake, let's talk about Chelsea losing 1-0 at home to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, who have been terrible away from home. Won maybe one game all season, all last season away from home. You know what? I'm very happy for Anthony Elanga. It makes me smile.
Yeah,
Seeing a United boy do some good stuff.
Did you see the run he had at the end, where he takes a shot from the tight angle? Mikhail Mudryk, man, he might be the worst signing in the history of football. In the history of football, I mean it. Like this guy cost 90 million, right? He can't trap a ball, he can't pass a ball, he can't shoot, and he can't defend.
He can't even do spins like Anthony does.
All he does is run very, very fast. He loses the ball to Elanga.
And then I said this last season, and I'll say it again. He is Dan James. He is just Dan James. Dan James is
better than this.
Dan James is better.
Dan James is better
Dan
than
James
this.
is better.
Yeah, like he runs back, chases Elanga, gets beat again, and then I don't know if I should be thanking Chelsea. I still wonder what would have happened if Arteta had gotten his hands on him. But honestly, I look at the guy and I'm just like, yeah, I don't see it anymore.
He's another guy who looks broken. Like, he talked about Havertz looking a bit broken. Like, he's a guy who looks broken in record time at
But
Chelsea.
he arrived broken, man. Like, that's the difference. Like, he arrived.
But this is
Chelsea
this
didn't
is
break
why
him.
you return him during the warranty. If Chelsea didn't
It's
get
not
a
been a
warranty
year.
period on him, that's on him.
It's not been a year. Might not be too late.
Do they have a full year of warranty on Mikhail Mudryk?
I don't know. They tried to trade him in for Smith Rowe. We were just like, no, Smith Rowe isn't even getting games, and we're like, no,
Yeah,
keep him,
absolutely not.
keep him. But Chelsea have big problems in their attack, man. None of them can score. Like,
I mean, it won't be solved if Nicholas Jackson keeps missing chances like
what
that.
I don't. That is a guy to me that just technically, I don't know. It didn't make the finish he was going for. It didn't make sense. Like, I don't understand how he thought that would end up in a goal. Like, he's trying to. I get he's reaching for it, but he could have slowed.
But he didn't have to.
He didn't,
reach
yeah,
for
that's
it.
my point. Like, he didn't have to. He just panics.
Why is he reaching for
He
it?
just panics.
You don't need to toe poke this in.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one around you. Just relax. Ball's not coming onto you fast.
He looks like a ball of energy, but in the box, he's a basket case. I don't know. He's like Nunez except worse. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah,
That's harsh on Nunez. Nunez scores, like, he misses a lot of chances, but he also
I think this is recency bias.
he scores some nice goals.
This is recent. Yes, we have evidence
he
that
scores
he
some
can
nice
score
goals.
some nice goals, but he has some really nice misses.
I haven't
too.
seen.
He had a really nice
He
miss
does
on the
have some
weekend
really
as
nice-
well. One of
He did.
Yeah.
He got lucky. Like,
and
no,
not the own
one
goal.
of his nice misses.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
another one. Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, he has that gene. But there is more to... Anyway, I don't know.
I'm just saying, if Tommy decides to go on a biking trip every time Chelsea lose games, we might never get it back on the pod. This might turn into a two-man thing.
Tommy went on a biking trip and then got lost in the wilderness. Is that what happened? I don't know.
This is the story we've been presented. We'll leave it up to the listeners to decide how.
Yeah,
accurate
it didn't add up. But we're just like, okay, Tommy,
Hey,
we'll give you the week off. It's just...
tell you, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, you had last week off. Tommy had this week off. Do I get a week off at any point?
Didn't you have the end of last season off or something? You traveled at some point.
I still do the edit work when I'm away.
This is true. Yeah. So
I never get a true week off.
we need to hire. We can give you a week off.
We'll hire an editor.
Yeah.
With what money? Who's sponsoring us?
Internship. Yeah.
Internship, unpaid internship.
Unpaid. Oh, of course.
Look,
The
I'm
American
just saying,
internship.
it's very nice for Tommy to imitate Chelsea and just go missing in a forest.
Yeah. Well done. All right.
We'll move on to Brighton 3, Newcastle 1. Huge bounce back game for Brighton after they lost to West Ham last week. Evan Ferguson with a hat trick. The kid looks like the real deal. He's not even 19 yet.
Looks like Harry Kane. He looks well.
Yep.
He looks like Neil Mellor. He looks like Harry Kane and Neil Mellor. You remember Neil Mellor? Liverpool.
Oh.
Yeah, Liverpool
When?
youngster.
Liverpool.
A long time ago, talking Steven Gerrard times, 2005.
Oh no, you said long time and you've also said 2005, and that has hurt my soul.
Yeah. Yeah, Neil, he was a kid. Anyway, yeah. I remember him because he scored a worldie winner against Arsenal in 2004, actually. Yeah, so he was supposed to be a wonder kid that just, he's a failed wonder kid, basically. But anyway, look him up. Ferguson looks like him, but he's clearly much more talented. Yeah, how many goals does he have? 4 or 5 this season now?
I know he scored in the first week, so it might be 4, I think.
He looks good.
Second only to you-know-who in the Golden Boot race.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to talk about Haaland
It's
yet.
depressing.
Yeah, I want to talk
Depressing.
about Haaland.
We'll get to him.
But, yeah, Brighton, I don't know. It's a question more Newcastle, because this season, they had the first game against Villa, but again, I don't rate Villa because their manager is Unai Emery. Since then, they've had some tough games, but I don't know that they've looked good in any of them, right? Like,
They haven't. It's not like, I mean, City kept them at an arm's length, 1-0 win. Liverpool, they had the game handed to them on a platter, and they fucked it up. And then against Brighton,
they weren't competitive.
They were played off the park.
They were not competitive.
They were played off the park by Brighton.
The Callum Wilson goal is one of those where it's like, okay, we've slapped you around for a night.
Consolation.
Yeah, just have,
consolation.
How about it? It's half-ass defending. I can't remember who it was now, but yeah, I don't know.
It's they've switched off. The game's over. They're like whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, Ferguson, 200 million signing for somebody next summer.
Chelsea.
That would be a shame.
Chelsea, they're gonna make a bid.
Yeah, they'll make a bid.
I don't want him to go to Chelsea because that is the one club that will guaranteed ruin him because that's just what they do to strikers.
Yep. To everybody, it seems these days. You know.
Occasionally a defender survives.
Like who?
Badiashile looked good last season.
Where is he now?
He's been hurt so far. This one, he's hurt.
Hurt.
Different kind of ruin.
Yeah, exactly. Still the same
Self-preservation,
thing.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Malo Gusto looks okay.
Does he?
Looks okay. Look, I'm trying to be nice to them.
They're all, yeah. Chelsea's, yeah. Chelsea's
Tommy,
Chelsea.
you could defend them. But you know,
Tommy's giving up.
He decided to not be here.
He's giving up.
This is a record.
I'm
for
surprised. I gotta give Chelsea fans some credit. They are still turning up at Stamford Bridge. It's amazing. Like they've got 2 wins in 2023. Something. If it's not that, it's not far
Something
off.
like that.
Like I was looking through their results, trying to find their last win. I couldn't find it. Like before last week, I couldn't find it. I gave up. I'm like, I was in February. It's just like, okay, so
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they are a mess. And you look at their squad, and you actually think, yeah, where are the goals? Mudrik's got 7 goals in his career. Madueke, I don't know.
I thought you were saying Mudrik's. I thought you said Mudrik's got a goal for Chelsea. I was like,
no. In his career, he's
I don't
got
know if he has an
7
assist
goals. He has 1 assist, who's by accident, but he has an assist. Last season,
miscontrolled it.
Yeah. Yeah, who else is there? Madueke. Sterling has goals in him, but not to the same extent.
Tell you what, Sterling has actually been... He's actually doing stuff. Like, he's the one who set up Jackson.
He was crap on that. Yeah, but he was crap on the weekend. So, he was back to his... yeah. Sterling's not enough. I'm amazed they didn't sign a striker.
He's trying.
I'm amazed they didn't sign a striker and they got rid of Lukaku. Lukaku's not, but...
He's not the answer, but, he does get goals.
Yeah, they're a mess. But anyway, we were talking about Brighton.
Brighton, Newcastle. Right, Newcastle, I mean, it's all... The fixture list in the Premier League will ease up, but their Champions League draw, what's it? Dortmund,
Milan,
PSG,
and Milan.
Yeah. This is not good. Alright, Eddie Howe, you've talked a lot of shit. You and your boy Jason Tyndall have talked a lot of shit. Back it up now.
Is his boy Jason Tyndall, or is he Jason Tyndall's boy at this point?
It's a chicken egg situation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's Jason Tyndall. I think we know what the answer would be. But yeah, they're in for
the answer to any question asked to Jason Tyndall is Jason Tyndall.
Yeah, I think they're in for a tough season, to be honest. Just the way the fixtures have come together, and you look at their Champions League group, it wouldn't surprise me if they actually came second or third in that group. But then, yeah, playing in Europe and then playing again in the league.
Well, I don't know if their squad depth is there yet.
It's not. It's fine.
If you look at
their defensive depth.
My thing is just that central midfield. Once you get past Tonali, Guimaraes, Joelinton, what are the backups?
Longstaff's not good. He's not good. I'll tell you what. They lost Botman. They've not recovered from that. They lost Botman against Liverpool, and their defense fell apart. Dan Burn does not look good at centre back. He does not look good at centre back.
How is he weirdly a better left back than he is a centre back?
I don't know.
He's 6'6". I don't understand.
I don't know. But it's the further away from his goal he is, the better. He's not quick. Clearly, Darwin Nunez showed that, and in this game, Like, yeah, he could not handle Ferguson. Mitoma. I mean, they had they had Matt Target at left back. So that shows you where
I
they
forgot.
are. Yeah.
I forgot he was still there.
Yeah.
That Target,
Matt
as
Target.
Tommy calls him.
Yeah. They were supposed to sign Kieran Tierney. They did not like our price. They went for Lewis Hall. I don't know why Lewis Hall is not playing if you're going to spend that much money on him. But not Target playing. If they keep playing him, they will be in trouble. So, anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
Tough start. They could bounce
I mean,
back.
a team that's had a very good start is Spurs. They beat Burnley 5-2 at Turf Moor.
Yeah.
Ange Ball looks spicy so far.
Is that what they're calling
You didn't
it?
like Ange Ball,
No,
did you?
it's terrible. Is that the best? What post? No, that won't.
That is what literally everything just gets called. It's lazy. There was sorry ball. There's you just have ball after everything. Arteta ball.
Do they call it pep ball? What do they call it?
I hope not.
Yeah. Where did that come from? I know the Wenger ball
I
was
don't
a
know.
thing.
I know it's a thing in cricket. I know it was a thing when Sarri was at Chelsea.
Yeah, I remember. Sorry ball.
And I think that was the first.
It's got to be
I
two
heard of it.
syllables. It's got to be two syllables to work. It can't be one syllable. It can't be three. Right? Like, yeah. Ange ball doesn't work. Anyway.
Ange is one syllable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't work. No, I'm saying the name.
Oh,
the name has to be
okay.
two syllables. Yeah.
I don't know. In cricket, there's baseball.
I don't
that
know.
Works.
I have no idea how cricket's a whole different world to me. The rules might be different there.
Come, Tony. There is a World Cup on the horizon.
I cannot.
Come support Pakistan. We will cry together.
I had a friend who watched cricket in uni. I came to visit him in the morning.
Oh.
Not you, but I visited him in the morning. I left. I came back late afternoon, and he was still watching again. I'm like, dude, what is going on? It's just like...
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There's different formats. We'll get
he's
you
still watching.
indoctrinated.
I'm like, you can't let something take over your day like this. Nothing is happening.
Bullshit, Tony. I've seen you on Premier League mornings.
That's different. It's different games. You're watching one game for 10
It's a
hours.
story. It weaves itself.
Yeah.
A beautiful tapestry of sport.
Cricket, no. It's almost as bad as golf. Almost. But
Hey, how dare you? How dare you?
same thing.
How dare you lump cricket in with golf? We'll get you into T20. It's a 3-hour version. You'll be fine.
I don't know what you're talking about. But, yeah.
God. Spurs 5. This is the length we will go for you to not talk about Spurs. You'll start talking about cricket instead. But hat-trick in this one as well. Son getting his first 3 goals of the season. Looking pretty good starting at centre forward. Richarlison mercifully dropped to the bench in favour of Manor Solomon playing off the left.
I like Solomon.
And Burnley were just blown away.
Yeah, I like Solomon.
Solomon had he had a few highlights at Fulham last year.
Yeah, he was really good. He came from Shakhtar just like Mudryk. I'm checking Spurs' fixtures. They have a good run. Trying to see when they play some... Oh, okay, they play us in 2 weeks. Well, that would be 4 weeks now because of the
3 weeks,
international
4
break.
weeks.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Because the only difficult fixture they've had was you, and they were not great in that game, even though they won. They seemed to...
They got away with it in the first half against us, and then they were much better than us in the second half.
I think the thing with them is they look a mess defensively. They did concede 2 goals in this game, right? It was 5-2, I think, was the score. Yeah. So
I think one of them was pretty late on, though. So they went behind to start with, and then they scored, I think, 5, and then they conceded 1 late on.
yeah, James Maddison has been really good for them. I think that's the...
It's a very good signing.
Yeah, he's been good. Yeah, I don't know what to make of them, to be honest. It's tough to say because Burnley are in trouble.
They are. Spurs are very fun to watch this season. Just they do go very all out attacking. Udogie has been fun to watch. Like he pops up in the randomest spots.
Yeah, he inverts. I think he inverts a lot.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, everyone's doing it now. Bisuma's looked good since Ange
Finally,
yeah.
a year too late for my prediction as best signing.
You predicted it was going to be best signing. Wow.
I was a big fan of his when he was at Brighton, and I really wanted United to sign him, and then we didn't. And then he went to Spurs, and then Conte signed him, and then also hated him. So,
I didn't give you guys enough shit, man. United, really thinking about it, like Johnny Evans. I'm just thinking about it now. Hey, you did anyway. We'll talk about signings.
Money.
We'll talk about signings later. That's your fault. You say that like
I know it's our
so
fault.
I don't care.
It's our
That's
fault.
your fault.
I can't control that.
Yeah.
I can't control who they sign.
Yeah,
if it was up to me, they would have signed Bissouma 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's just like how you. Yeah. Anyway, you end up with Mason Mount in central midfield. We'll come back to United. We're gonna do transfers later, but
yeah, we're running very behind. But
yeah,
well, Spurs look good. Burnley, they're in trouble.
Yep.
They are playing the same style of football that they played in the Championship, and it is far too open for the forward lines that they're playing in the Prem. Now, I will grant you that they have had a tough schedule-wise start to the season. They played City in the first game, never fun. Then they played Villa, who were bouncing back off that Newcastle loss, and now they've played Spurs.
but they didn't look good in any.
They were supposed to have there was a period where they looked okay against Villa, but they looked okay going forward. Defensively, they've looked shit.
Yeah, that doesn't work in the
entire
Premier League. You need.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Blackpool.
Yes,
When
exactly.
they got promoted.
And they were
Ultimate
rubbish.
Entertainers
They
went down.
were rubbish. They were fun, but they were rubbish. You beat them 6-2, but it still lost 6-2. So whether they scored 2 goals or not, he needs company. There's been a lot of
take a leaf out of Dyche's book.
No.
Defensively,
I don't think
so you remember Dyche's Burnley teams were, if nothing, defensively
Dyche is at
really
Everton.
well drilled.
It's not working. He's at Everton, so
We both know that the problems at Everton go way beyond Sean Dyche.
I don't think Dyche is the answer anymore. I mean, you could, no. I'm sorry. I get what you're trying to say.
I'm not saying he's the answer, but I'm saying that Dyche's Burnley teams were better set up to survive the Premier League than Company's so far.
Yeah.
Unless Company wisens up, like
Fair enough.
he's got all this hype as like a big this next big manager thing.
Yeah.
All right, show it, adapt.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. If you take that job, because he's trying to play a style of football at a club that might not be ready for it. Fine, it's all good in the Championship, but when you take that kind of job, you know when you go up that it's going to be a slug. It's going to be a fight. And I look at their squad. They lost some players in the summer that they had on loan, right? And I don't know where the quality is going to... Like, who is here that's going to carry this team? You know what I mean? Like, the only real player of note is Sanderberg. The rest of them are random.
It's a
good
just
Munson, okay.
unproven talent.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's a big gamble. We'll see what happens. But
I think Burnley are going to be hoping that there are 3 worse teams than them this season.
I think Company will be lucky to see January. But that's just me. We'll see what happens.
I mean, if he keeps playing this kind of style, yeah, I agree. But all right, we are running very behind. But let's move on. City 5, Fulham 1. Oh, look at that! It's an Erling Haaland hat-trick again. I'm tired. I'm so tired.
You know, I stopped watching when he scored again. I stopped watching.
I turned it off at 2.
No, sorry. When Alvarez
scored,
scored, I stopped watching, and then Manny texted me and he's like, "Our enemies are prospering." And I look over, and at that point, I hadn't reflected that Haaland scored a hat trick. I was like, "Oh, Haaland gets 2 goals, whatever." Then I check the score at the end of the game. I see 5. I see Haaland hat trick. I'm just like, this guy scores too many hat tricks. It's not normal. Like, it's not.
Stop. It's not special anymore. We're not impressed anymore, Erling. Fucking stop. Yeah. There's no point of a point of a hat trick is that it's supposed to be special. Where are you going to keep all these match balls that you're getting?
he completed 4 passes in the game. 4 passes, one of which was an assist. And then
Scores 3 goals.
Scores 3 goals. So
stupid.
So irritating.
Stupid stat line.
It's so irritating.
I mean, I don't know what else to say about City.
To be fair, I think Fulham are very unlucky with the Ake goal.
The first goal.
Was it Ake?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
No, it was.
It was Ake.
Or maybe it was Ake.
I think it was Ake that heads it down,
Yeah,
and
no,
Akanji dummies the ball. It's very clear that Leno hesitates because he thinks Akanji might get something on the ball, and
I'm not saying it would change the end result of the game, but I don't know how that doesn't get ruled for offside.
It's so strange, man. And what's his name? Marco Silva? He's losing his shit on the touchline. It's because it's so obvious. Haaland.
Yeah.
They interviewed Haaland after the game, and it was like, yeah, it should be offside. He says so. He's like,
he knows.
It
He's a
should be
fucking
offside.
striker.
He's
He
like,
knows it.
If
that's the exact spot that a striker knows he's not supposed to stand.
Yeah,
in.
he's like, if that had been against us, I'd be upset. And it's just like everyone know. It's one of those calls that just is so obvious. In unison, everyone says it's offside except the officials. How is that possible? Like, I don't get what the justification could have been for it not being offside. He has to dummy the ball for it to go in, and Leno can't commit until he knows that he's not going to touch it. So anyway, whatever. Premier League officials are Premier League officials, not very good, but yeah, it's just crazy to me that
astonishingly bad decision.
Yeah, supposed best league in the world. They have some of the highest paid refs in Europe and some of the worst at the same time. Doesn't add up. But let's add on more extra time so that they can make more shit decisions.
We're like, great, we have
That's the
20 minutes of extra time every game.
Yeah. That's
more time for them to fuck up.
Yeah.
Let's move on quickly to Liverpool 3, Aston Villa 0. The main thing I'm getting from this game is that Darwin Nunez needs to start every game as striker. Not because he's necessarily going to put chances away, unless Matty Cash is helping him out. But the threat that comes with him being up top.
Yeah, Matty Cash was so upset with his own goal. he was so upset.
He also ended up just completely tangled in the net, which was kind of funny.
He probably has himself in fantasy. I feel like that's what it is.
Hey, if I was a Premier League player, I'd back myself and I'd put myself into my own fantasy team. What's the point if you're in fantasy if not having yourself in the team?
Yeah, I don't know. It was hilarious. Nunez he's just a basket in front of goal. It's just like Ahmed texts the group. He's like, "There's no more Nunez slander." He puts it in the group. I look at the game and I'm like, how is this your answer to there being no more Nunez slander? This is more ammunition for Nunez. It's nuts. But anyway, they do look better with him up front.
The threat he carries.
The threat.
Because they've been starting Gakpo up front. And
he's a Lacazette.
Nunez is
he's
just
a Dutch Lacazette.
Nunez is just... Yeah. Nunez is just much more threatening.
Much more threatening.
He's better than Gakpo.
Defenders, they should just leave him alone. Just leave him alone.
See what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. Let him miss instead of panicking that he might actually score. But, yeah, no. Salah gets another goal. Nunez gets another assist. Liverpool. It was easy. It's a disappointingly easy game for them. Villa carried.
Comfortable. Because Szoboszlai's strike for his goal was very nice.
Third minute in the game
Into
or
the
something?
ground, skimming through. Yeah. Immediately. And from that point, it was...
On his left foot as well. Just caught it on the half volley. He can strike a ball. Szoboszlai. He's really good. Yeah.
I feel like against this Liverpool team, any ball coming back out, pulled back to the edge of the area is just dangerous.
Yeah.
If you got Szoboszlai, McAllister...
Yeah.
McAllister can strike a ball as well. Not as well as Szoboszlai, but...
Yeah, he's alright. I don't know how.
I forget that you predicted him as the flop of the season. So
I didn't have my laptop. I panicked, so I just picked something random. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? This is what happens when you're not prepared, Tony.
I
And,
was prepared. My
another
laptop
team
wasn't
that's looked-
prepared.
Another team.
I'm a-
These are things that we check the night before the season starts, Tony.
I did.
Another team that has looked underprepared this season is Everton, but they have picked up their first points. They drew 2-2 with Sheffield United. They would have lost this one if Jordan Pickford hadn't made a great double save right at the end.
Yeah. I don't know if this is in fact, I know that this is not really a good result for Everton. But it's something. They'll take it.
I will say, incredibly entertaining game to watch.
It was.
There's just two shit teams just throwing haymakers at each other.
Yeah, Pickford getting an own goal, then being the hero. I mean, the own goal's not his fault, but
unfortunate.
Yeah, it just looked like two bad teams slugging it out, honestly. And yeah,
I mean, like, this felt like a big relegation clash, and we're like 4 weeks into the season. Like, that's not a good sign for either team.
Yeah, I don't see there being 15 teams. I don't see Everton being better than 15 teams. I don't know, 5 teams, I guess, in the league. I think if they make it, they'll be 16th or 17th, honestly. Again, which...
It'll be because there will be teams worse than them, not because they're actually better than anyone. But I will say, their new signing, Beto,
I
looks,
like him.
in flashes, interesting.
He
actually had some presence up top.
He has he has the physical attributes to be a handful. Whether he'll score a lot remains to be seen, but they missed that in Calvert-Lewin's absence, who I don't know where he is anymore. But
treatment table,
sure,
probably,
sure,
still, it's a good bet.
I mean, I'm sure you're probably right. It's just, yeah.
Moving on, Luton 1, West Ham 2. I mean, my big takeaway from this one is that I think Luton were robbed in this one, because there's a handball right at the end against James Ward-Prowse that doesn't get given, that I have seen given countless times in this league. And
that's fair.
If it was a bigger team than Luton on the receiving end of this, and a bigger team, a more sort of intermediate team than West Ham that won a game like this, there would be a lot of uproar.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Luton fans, if some of you were somehow listening to this, I'm standing with you. You've been robbed. You should have had a penalty right at the end.
I'm just enjoying David Moyes going back to his roots, Signed James Ward-Prowse for the set pieces. He's just,
the perfect signing for them.
Perfect signing. Kurt Zuma he should be a pickup on fantasy, because he's gonna score quite a few. They still have Suchek in there. Bowen, he's scoring. It's just like he's forgotten.
Bowen's been on a good little run of form.
Yeah, he's gotten rid of all that Sociedad nonsense that he picked up, and he's gone right back to his Fellaini days.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's dropped the David Moyes.
Yeah,
he's gone back to good old David Moyes.
Yeah. West Ham are what, third or something in the table? That's not gonna last. But
they might be
fourth.
Second.
No, they're fourth. Yeah,
fourth?
But
okay.
That's not gonna last.
They were first after winning this game briefly.
Yeah, but not gonna last.
And
yeah.
Now we'll move on to Palace 3, Wolves 2. Eberi Eze is good at football. He's very good at football.
Yeah, I saw that he's been called up to the England squad a couple of times. I hope he doesn't commit, because he's not gonna play for them. Come home, man. Come play for your home nation. Yeah.
I was gonna be like, I have a feeling that he is Nigerian.
Yeah, come home, come play for your home nation. Eberechi. Oh, Eberechi is it. But, yeah, he's good. His goal was really nice. The way he took it he used a back heel flick to set himself up, then toe pokes it in on the stretch. Like, really, really good goal.
He's a street footballer.
He is a street footballer.
He's fun.
Yeah. And he now fully has that crown now that Zaha's gone. So, yeah. What's his face? Edouard gets 2. Good for him. Wolves are a weird club this season. They have some talent, but I don't know.
Yeah, they continue to be competitive in every single game, and then, I mean, other than last week against Everton, they lose them all.
Yeah, they have 1-goal swings pretty much in all their games. It's been like that for so many years. They either win 1-0, draw 0-0, or lose by 1 goal. It's always that kind of, but, yeah. We'll see. They should.
I mean, like, I did predict them to get relegated at the start of the season. I do think
Yeah,
they're better than
still
all
up.
three newly promoted teams.
Yeah.
They're better than Everton.
Yeah,
They're like lower mid-table kind of thing.
Yeah, 15.
And then finally,
there's
last game
another
of
game?
the weekend was Brentford 2, Bournemouth 2.
Okay.
But we will move on real quickly to discussing the... I apologize to any Brentford or Bournemouth fans listening. Full slate of games. What can we do? But the transfer window is closed. And deadline day happened. United attempted to sign half the world on loan. Because that is who we are as a club now. Did you know we've spent £450 million on dividends and interest repayments since 2013? Doing well. It's fine. My club is on fire. I'm dead inside. But we brought in a backup goalie from Turkey, whose name I still haven't learned. We shipped out Dean Henderson and got $15 million for him from Palace. I'll take it.
Okay. I'm done.
We got Sofian Amrabat, who I actually quite like the signing of, because...
Is he going to play with Casemiro, or is he going to play in place of... Because Casemiro has not looked good this season, by the way. He looks like...
I would like him to play along with Casemiro.
So where will Eriksen
Just
play?
add a little more...
On the bench.
Eriksen cannot play 90 minutes. You bring Eriksen on as a sub, I think.
Where will Mount play?
But, he's hurt. He's hurt, so I'm not worrying about it. Well, so we signed someone else on loan. I thought we signed someone else on loan.
You did sign Højlund.
Oh, Region. I already mentioned it.
Oh,
yeah, Region, because all our left backs are injured. And
the Shaw one's pretty bad, huh? It's like a grade 3 hamstring tear or something like that. Yeah.
Out until... He and Malacia are both out until, like, mid-November at the earliest, by the sounds of it. So...
I mean, you were linked with...
Great.
Were you linked with Marcos Alonso? You were linked with all sorts.
We were linked with Alonso, Cucurella, and Region. We were going to bring in Cucurella, and then Chelsea played him in the League Cup and cup tied him. We're like, alright, we won't take him. And now he's just not going to play for Chelsea either. So...
You guys are a weird club, man. Like, I'm surprised.
I have been saying this for years.
Yeah, you're a weird club.
I mean, we didn't even talk about the Jadon Sancho stuff. The post-game Jadon Sancho stuff, where Sancho's left out of the squad and then decides to post a little notes message on his Instagram.
He's left out of the squad, then he's thrown under the bus by his manager. And then he decides to post what he posts, right? Like,
he was asked why Sancho was left out of the squad, and then I was like, he's not been training well.
it's a bit... There's a way to say it. To come on and just say he's not been training well is harsh. Even if it's true.
Ten Hag has defended him for a full year. He gave him the time off he needed last year. He's given him plenty of chances.
Gave him the Tommy treatment. Send him to the wilderness to find himself, right? Like we're doing. Yeah. And
but so it's at some point it's like if you've been trying to do it for a year, I can understand when you're eventually just like, nah, I'm done with
I'd
this.
just drop him. I'd just drop him and not say anything. And just be like, I had to make my decision.
I think
that's what he's trying to do.
That's a direct question.
He was, but
no.
Yeah, it's damn.
It's one of those things where I'm like I don't understand like the defense of Sancho from some quarters. So I'm like, we've been criticizing him.
I'm not defending Sancho.
Like,
I'm just not surprised that he.
No, I'm not saying from you. I've seen some of it online. Being like, how could he treat Sancho? I'm like, how many more chances? Like, at some point, we have to accept that it's a bust.
Yeah.
And start moving on.
He's on 350 bags.
He's like, look, we put kids on the bench over him. So
is Sancho worse? I was gonna say Sancho worse than Martial. He probably is. Yeah.
No, Martial has had a few seasons where he's been like, oh, there could be. There's potential here. There's
like
something.
5 years ago, but I hear you.
But there were a couple of them in there.
Yeah.
Well, it was like one. The Solskjaer season was, and I guess the early Van Gaal one. But we're getting off track. I don't think Arsenal did anything
on deadline day.
The deadline.
No, we got rid of players. That's what we did. Nuno Tavares on loan. We got rid of to Forest. Kieran, they're like just a bunch of people that were leaving.
Sambi Lokonga to Luton.
Sambi, yeah. I forgot about him. Yeah.
There's that Premier League experience, I guess. Big signing was Brennan Johnson going to Spurs. 47 million.
You know, I saw this, and in my mind, I autocorrected to Chelsea. Right? Like, I saw Brennan...
It feels like
Yeah.
a wide player going for over 40 mil. It seems like Chelsea.
Is he a wide player or a striker? I know he plays wide, but he's a striker, right?
Bit of both, I think.
I just felt like... First of all, it's too much money for Brennan Johnson. That was the thing.
Absolutely.
And I was like, okay, Chelsea are desperate for a striker, so maybe that's why. But then I realized he's going to Spurs, and I'm like, okay, I don't get it.
I mean, Spurs could also use a striker because Richarlison isn't working out.
Yeah, but I actually think Son's best position is striker right now. I don't think he has the legs to play up.
I do think Son
on
is
the
going to
wing.
play as a starting. It's good depth for like Kulusevski, Son, then I guess. But another big transfer that went through was Ryan Gravenberch to Liverpool.
I'm really
from Bayern.
I'm really
34 million pounds.
First of all, Bayern have done really well to get that much for Gravenberch because he's not played for them.
They made a profit on him,
Yeah.
and they played him maybe 5 times last season.
He ever since he's moved to 6. I remember we had this conversation last season when we were talking about the best youngsters in football, and he was on that list. And I mentioned he was an 8 because the last time I'd seen him consistently was when he was playing as an 8 for Ajax before he got moved back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a very good 6. That's why I'm like, it's going to be really interesting to see him play that role for Liverpool because that's what he's been signed as. He's been signed as a 6.
Otherwise you're playing 3/8, and that's...
Exactly. Well, that's the problem. That's why Bayern haven't been playing him because he doesn't play the 6. He plays the 6 like an 8, right? Like he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good ball carrier, very athletic, but he's not a very good defender positionally. And yeah, we'll see. He's gonna need to be coached a lot. He's not the most intense player, but if they can get a tune out of him, could be a good.
It's an
signing.
interesting signing. I mean, João Palhinha going from Fulham to Bayern the other way collapsed right at the end. He's in Munich getting pictures taken with the shirt.
He's done the interviews and everything. I mean, Bayern thinking that the Premier League are gonna be like, maybe they thought Fulham would be like Dortmund and Stuttgart. Just hand him over. It's like, no, they need a replacement, right?
Weirdly, the guy that stopped the transfer was Scott McTominay because he didn't agree to move into Fulham. So, tell you what, McTominay doing United a favour because we play Bayern in the Champions League, so we don't have to deal with Palhinha at Bayern.
Yeah, you just have to deal with him at Fulham, but that's fair. Yeah,
I'd rather deal with him at Fulham than at Bayern.
That's fair. Hurricane versus Man United again. Yeah,
we know how that ends.
Yeah.
We have Mateus Nunes going from Wolves to City for 53 million.
Good player.
And
random
Chelsea signing Cole Palmer. Yeah, he's a good player. Chelsea signing Cole Palmer for 40 million. Sure.
It's Chelsea.
He's played like 500 minutes of first team football, but sure.
I would love to be behind the scenes and just, like a fly on the wall and listen to these conversations. Like, how is Cole Palmer a target for Chelsea? Of all the positions you need, I don't get this one. Right?
He plays. Correct me if I'm wrong. He
right
plays
wing.
as a wide forward, right?
Plays on the right.
Yeah.
Where they have Madueke,
Sterling,
Mudryk if they want to play him there. They have one more that I'm not thinking of now. It's just like, why Cole Palmer?
So, hey, in your defense, it's hard to think of Chelsea players. There are so many of them.
So many.
You don't know who's there anymore. You don't know who's come, who's left.
Oh,
it's
Chukwueze, but he is it Chukwueze?
Chukwueze is.
He's on the
Chukwuemeka.
Yeah, it's like Chukwueze doesn't make that. He's Villarreal. Chukwuemeka, yeah, but he plays on the left. To be fair, but yeah, I don't know. Chelsea, whatever with Chelsea, man. Like I don't know. It's less to do with Chelsea now. It's more like, why are you going to Chelsea? It's not even a good look anymore.
Yeah, this is on you now.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anything else? Any other interesting moves?
I mean, Alex Iwobi to Fulham.
I was surprising.
Big loss for Everton, honestly.
Yeah.
Huge loss for Everton because he was one of their better players last season. Divock Origi to Forest
Sure.
on loan.
I thought Iwobi was who they
Ibrahim
were.
Sangare to Forest.
That could be. See, I think Sangare is a
interesting.
good player. I don't know why he's going to Forest. I think he's just desperate to get out. I haven't been surprised Premier League clubs. I've been surprised like Liverpool haven't looked at Sangare, right? Like maybe they know something I don't.
Man United take a look at him. Maybe
He-
he was only 25 mil or something.
I bet you someone signs Sangare in a year or two in the Premier League for
yeah,
big money.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
His numbers in the
His
Dutch
his
league
metrics are off the chart.
off the chart, man. And yeah, sure, it's a Dutch league, but Holland's been a good. They've been a good source for defensive players, defenders, and defensive midfielders. So strikers, not so much, but yeah, we'll see if Forest just they have so many players now. It's hard to really tell what the plan is there. But
I'm trying to figure out what signing to close off on, and I think we'll go with Ansu Fati, and they are on loan at Brighton. If you had told me this move a year ago, I would have called you insane.
if you told me this move a week ago, I'd have called you insane. I'm sorry, like. We are now
it's
in a
wild.
world where players are leaving Barcelona to go to Brighton. The Premier League.
I mean, it's
is
only a loan, but still
man.
this is the status of Brighton now, though. Like young players are like, I can go to Brighton, I'll look damn good there.
Where is he going to
Get the
play?
career back on track. He usually plays off the left, right?
Yeah, he's not benching Mitoma.
You're not going
So,
ahead of Mitoma.
I don't know.
Maybe they play him through the middle, but they just signed João Pedro.
They also have
And
Evan.
They have Evan Ferguson.
up there. So
I mean, Enciso got hurt, so
okay.
maybe he takes Enciso's spot.
And how
Which-
long is he out for?
I don't know, but it's a few months. I think.
That sucks
pretty bad
because
one.
I really like him. Okay.
Yeah. He was my next. He was other than Ferguson, he was my next tip for 100 mil player from Brighton.
It's crazy.
Well, we've gone on a bit long, but I think that's just about everything. I mean, we could have kept going on signings even, but such is the nature of the transfer window. But yeah, I guess I just sign off here. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 442. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for joining me, Tony.
Yeah, pleasure as always, Uzi. Tommy, get your ass back next week.
Show up.
Yeah,
Show up.
Chelsea's not playing next week, so it's okay. You can come
Yeah,
back.
it's an international break. We'll talk about Poland instead.
Yeah.
That'll go fine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Never forget that Fernando Santos is in charge there.
Oh man. Yeah, he's not showing up.
There's no escape. There's no escape. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.